Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mixed Media Monday. I'm Ophelia and thank you guys so much for joining me today. Today I thought it would be a great idea if we just kind of work together and work through a couple of things. I am honestly, and I'll just go ahead and put it all out there now. I feel like I'm just in a creative rut or almost like a funk where I don't care how much time I have or how many supplies I have. I just feel like I'm not creating as joyfully as I want or as freely as I want. And I'm just kind of stuck. And so I thought today we would just kind of come up with some ideas to get ourselves unstuck and just play and work in our sketchbooks. So if that's something that you're interested in, I hope that you will keep watching, play along with me if you like, and we'll go ahead and get started. One thing that I like to do whenever I feel stuck is just kind of not even take a mental inventory of my toys, but I will go to my studio and just kind of putz around or play around. One thing that totally helps me, and I didn't bring my basket today, which I should have because it just kind of inspires me to do some other things, but I love going through my papers and sometimes that will spring things forward. So I know after doing that, and I've kind of pulled from here, I feel as though I want to play with some of these or maybe even keep it in this color scheme. I don't know why this big number 2 kind of jumped out at me, but so I know I want to kind of keep it in that color scheme, which I guess we should talk about supplies. I've already poured out for myself some acrylic paints in fern, turquoise, some fluorescent magenta, some carmine, titanium white, and light gray, and these are all Lucas acrylics that I always use. I've also got here my Lucas watercolor paints, and I'm honestly finding that I love to just splash that color around first to kind of lead things the way that I want them to go. So I've got my watercolors, I've got some inks and maybe some markers, as well as some of the same acrylic inks in spray bottles that I may use with some stencils here. Again, I usually just kind of grab things when I'm ready to play, but maybe they make an appearance, maybe they won't. So I just grab those, and I've kind of picked some collage images. I know another thing that honestly helps me is to make sure that I keep things pretty simple, meaning I just kind of play with my supplies, putz around in my studio, inventory, see what I've got, you know, and probably the best thing for me is just to kind of go into action or do something. So I will usually start by taking my watercolors and go into my journal. I'm just going to spritz this page with water because I want things to kind of be a little fluid. I'm going to also spritz my watercolors here, and keeping in mind that like I've pulled these, so I know I want to play around in that same color scheme. So I'm just going to kind of go for some reds and yellows and oranges, not really even being mindful of what I put down or what goes where. I'm honestly right now just kind of playing for the sake of playing. So I'm just going to get this background covered with a little bit of paint. And one thing that I love is because my paper is wet, I can like tilt my sketchbook around and get some really good drips and such like that. Which brings me to another thing that I love to do is just kind of ask myself like, oh, I wonder what would happen. And then I usually do it. Sometimes it's bad that happens, but then, I don't know, at least now I'm not curious as to what would happen anymore. So I am just gonna me blend all of that. I'm literally watching paint drip because I don't know what else to do. Okay. As far as this goes, in all honesty, and I think that's why I like to start with watercolor, is even if I wreck it or it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to turn out, I'm going to even eventually cover some of this up with acrylic paint, so I can just kind of roll with it. Now, if I were to get this and go, or get to this point and go, oh my gosh, I really, really like that, well, I can just kind of dry it up and, you know, go right in with my journaling. But usually I never stop there. Usually I kind of go all in all the time. And maybe one of these days we can do something where I just kind of, I don't know, stop and don't go ham on the things that I want to do. But for now, I am going to let this dry and I'll be right back. Yeehaw. My watercolors are all dry. I think I want to just keep this simple and don't overthink things, and definitely not pull out 53 million supplies that I have. I'm just going to have no idea of what I'm doing. So I'm just going to start grabbing some acrylic paint, maybe change it up a little bit, and put my paint on in a different way than what I usually would, like with this palette knife thing jammer, because since I've already kind of set my colors in a certain, or I've set the colors that I want, reds and, oh, I forgot yellow. What? And that fell down. I'm going to add a little Indian yellow because we cannot, I forgot yellow. Oh my God, I have paint on my shoe. We have, oh my God. Who's in charge? Who's in charge? We got, I don't even know. I told you. Hey, where'd Ophelia go? Here she is. I told you I've got a disaster. All right, wait, what am I even doing? Time out. Go slowly. I'm putting some yellow. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, America. I'm sorry about that. Alrighty, so I'm now just going to use this plastic old card that I had and add a little bit of yellow to that so that now it looks like a real mess. And I think I'm going to let this dry up for just a bit and we'll just see what happens because I'm not really quite sure. Right now I'm lost in the woods on this, so I'll be right back. Let me let it dry. Okay. Dry enough-ish. Let's see. Let's just try some of this. It ain't working. Yes, it is. Tricked you. You mean? Where do we put the wet stencils?
Wherever you want.
You're on your own.
Is there a closet for wet stencils? Yeah, we're doing nothing. Okay. Ooh, got another wet stencil. Okay. I'm going to let all this dry, and then I'll be right back with some, hopefully some good ideas. Yeehaw. Okay. Ooh. I'm thinking that I legit have no idea. Let's just, you know what? When you are lost, you just kind of keep going, because eventually you'll come upon something familiar. So that's what I'm going to do here. I think that I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to add things and I'm just going to add some things. I feel like now I just feel like I heard that just 3 seconds ago, so I know I'm repeating myself. And let's just see what happens. Okay. I look like I'm painting, but I'm actually just cleaning my hands off, kind of. Okay. Let's just do it. Here we go. All right. You know what? Let's just do it. I think. Ooh, too late for thinking now. I think since that background got a little bit busy, all I did here was take like a wash of some of that. My brush was really wet, and I just put some white and some blue together, and that would be called mixing. But then I'm just going to kind of take my paper towel and just kind of push it back a little bit to kind of level this playing field up a little bit. And now we're left with more of like a muted mess. This is not what I wanted to do today. So let's grab another stencil. I think with that, I am going to call this done. I just think I struggled, and as you noticed, I just I could not figure out what I want to do, and I think that's what a lot of my struggle is, even when I'm working daily, is, I've got great supplies, I've got great ideas, but I just can't get things to flow like I want them to. And what I don't want you to do, or anybody for that matter, is to just kind of call it quits. Yes, you can take a break and walk away and go get yourself a coffee, go for a walk, but just don't call it quits for good. Just take a stop, laugh at yourself a whole lot, and then come back to it and revisit it. But I just decided that I would literally make myself finish or get myself out of that corner, because I felt like I just kept backing my way into more of a rut. So I just kept making myself go until I found my way out of it. Your finding your way out may be a masterpiece, but sometimes it's just you finishing it off and calling it a day. So I will say one thing that always helps me with my creative funk or creative rut is to reconnect with my tribe. And I honestly think it is time for me to connect with some of my friends. It always helps me to get myself some fresh ideas or see things a whole lot differently than I see them in my own lane or in my own zone. So thank you guys. If you're still here, thank you very, very much for watching. And yeah, it is time for us to reconnect with the art tribe. So with that, I will see you guys next time. If you play along, please make sure that you use the hashtag at Jerry's Art. Nope, the hashtag Mixed Media Monday at Jerry's Artorama and Ophelia's Art Studio on Instagram. Definitely just let us know in the comments below how you work yourself out of a creative funk or a rut, or how you keep going when things just don't work out the way that you want. But that's going to be all for today, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. I always do that. Bye. I always do that. Like, all right, guys, so now I'm done. Oh, and then all of a sudden I start waving. What is up with that? Do I have peanuts in my teeth? I just thought about that. I ate in the... Good? Okay. Okay. See, you probably should be thanking me because you don't have as much fun with